So my question is, since the problems of the world are international, such as climate change, migration, unequal taxation regimes, capital safe havens, what are the panel's views of a world that is becoming increasingly isolationist? And I refer to, of course, what's happening in my country, Brexit, and Trumpism in the United States, and even Putinism in Eastern Europe. So I wonder what your views are on that.
For me, it's very simple. Just because a group of people have lost their minds temporarily and are taking a path that may not be the best path for society and the world, doesn't mean that we follow suit or we allow it to just carry on without someone standing up. Donald Trump is a reaction to American society and American politics and what's going on internally, less so than in the world. Brexit is, you guys have just confused me. There's no explanation. But you're right, in a world that's looking very insular, that's looking in, it is because of, again, a world where we have a widening of the wealth gap. You know, the poor are getting poorer. We have more human trafficking, more human slavery than we've had in the history of mankind, which is kind of ridiculous, but that is a fact in terms of how you define human slavery. So I think the insularity that you see is a reaction to what the world is going through. And the solution is not closing borders. The solution is not walls. The solution is actually opening up and realizing that as a society, we all have to work together and find a solution. That's not easy, it's not simple. And the politics, regional, national politics, make it very difficult to achieve what we need to achieve. But that's where I believe businessmen, and that's why I can only speak as a businessman, that's where capitalists must stand up and push back. Because insular policies don't make us money. Open borders make us money. Access to markets makes us money. And that's what we need, and that's what we have to push for. But I think I'll let someone like Tong say it.
You have pointed out the very important contradictions, which is both the problems are international, but perhaps the solutions begins within national legal framework. For instance, United Kingdom and Australian government just introduced modern slavery law this year. And that has a consequence on how other states respond to those issues. You still need states within a national framework to start promoting enlightened policies, to start promoting new ideas in order to actually ensure that others would follow, however tough the international environment is. So the modern slavery acts that were produced in the United Kingdom and Australia is now forcing factories in Malaysia to comply with their standard. And that is changing behavior in corporations here. Of course, eventually, we hope that we will also push for those standards. We will also champion those standards. And we hope that eventually our society will have that consensus to push forward some better policies so that capitalism survives, so that actually more people live in a better environment.
Yeah. We're about to embark on a climate rescue project. This phrase, climate rescue, sorry, I have to read this, there's some technical jargon, would be based on an accepted practice standards to meet operating costs and would equate to a not-for-profit operating expense to direct service proportion at a designated ratio for the advocacy group, in this case, a reef protection NGO. Now, my concern is that this type of model should be supervised by a watchdog organization according to established guidelines. An official seal of approval would appear on this product, therefore protecting the consumer that good business practices, that ultimately the product profits will go to the designated NGO. So my reason for being here actually is to ask this question. Is there an accepted model of a watchdog that can endorse our product?
For our part, at least from our institute and the GCS part, that's what we're doing with Professor Kendall, is to create an index that would actually be highlighting and scoring companies in how they operate, what they do, and even organizations that, in terms of what they contribute to. But in terms of a watchdog body,
I think eventually the role of the state has to come in. So in US, foods are regulated, drugs are regulated, and of course the role of the state is important in regulating activities, but of course you have to do it in a just way.
Famously back in 1910, the then president of Mexico, Porfirio Diaz, with problems again, said, "Pobre Mexico, poor Mexico, tan lejos de Dios, so far from God, tan cerca a los Estados Unidos, so close to the United States." Are we seeing this all over again? And what do we view, particularly in the light of yesterday's rather interesting clash with the British Prime Minister and others, the leadership that America is giving, given the fact that our objective is good capitalism? Is he going to represent good capitalism?
you know what, for diplomatic reasons, I'm just not going to answer that question because I have nothing good to say about Donald Trump, so I'm not going to, say anything. But in terms of talking about Mexico and America and where we are now,
while we think that Donald Trump is an abnormal appearance in US politics, I would say that we will also have to be more concerned about trends that happen in the United States. US-China trade war, perhaps it's not just about Donald Trump. It's a growing consensus, bipartisan consensus in the United States that is pushing for some form of confrontation and competition with China. Now, what is the world that we are heading to? I think that the world, we are heading into a different era. We had 30 years of relatively simple years in the sense that we had US dominance since the Fourth Berlin War. But the years since the Fourth Berlin War, things have changed. And I think we are now entering into a new phase. And that new phase will lead us to whatever that is unknown. We're not sure where we're heading.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. We thank you, Wiley. Thank you, Vinod. Thank you, General. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Now,